Michigan finally responded to the NCAA's notice of allegations centered around the Connor Stalions Spygate scouting scandal. It's a lot of words. From the 2023 national championship season, while Jim Harbaugh was the head coach. Remember all that? We talked about it quite a bit. Everybody did. Well, the NCAA issued the notice of allegation at the beginning of the 2024 football season, and Michigan had until now to respond. Respond they did. Michigan officials put forth a 137-page document to the NCAA. And if you read all this, it seems like a resolution is not coming soon. No, it doesn't seem like the school has any intention to find a negotiated resolution with the NCAA. It's pushing back. I'll get into it here a little bit. But Michigan doesn't seem to want to be bothered by the NCAA. They feel they are feckless. I do too. I rip the NCAA all the time. But Michigan, throughout this whole thing, through every scandal that Jim Harbaugh had, Burgergate, Spygate, they just act like the NCAA doesn't even exist. So anyway, let's get through this here and talk about it. There's some interesting stuff here to get into. The school, Michigan, is actually accusing the NCAA of overreach and lack of proof here. The report has Michigan defending Jim Harbaugh, defending Sherrone, defending his staff, and you may be surprised to learn that they're even defending Connor Stalions in all of this. The recruiting assistant, allegedly in the middle of all this illegal on-site scouting, the Spygate scandal. Of course, you recall Stalions resigned in the midst of all this. It was a pretty good Netflix special on him. I'll tell you that. That was good. As they told his side of the story. But anyway, this was all in the midst of the 2023 season when this story broke. Michigan has said that the alleged system in place by Stalions had minimum relevance to competition and was not fully proven upon the investigation. It's kind of weird. They kind of admit he had some kind of system, but it was not proven in the investigation. And again, they say it had minimum relevance to the competition. Again, if you watch that Netflix special, I mean, he had a pretty elaborate system. Now, he always claimed he didn't do anything wrong or illegal. You should watch it sometime. It's a good watch. It is a good watch. The school also says that the NCAA notice of allegation has, quote, numerous factually unsupported infractions, exaggerates aggravated factors, and ignores mitigating facts, unquote. The notice of allegations last fall also suggested that Sherrone, who took over for Jim Harbaugh, as you know, could face significant suspension, a significant suspension, and a show cause penalty. That's some serious stuff. Moore is alleged to have deleted 52 text messages with Stalions, which amounted to a level 2 violation of NCAA rules. The deleting reportedly took place on the day that Stalions was deemed to be the Spygate ringleader when the story broke. I believe that was in October of 2023, right in the middle of the season. However, those texts had been relocated, and through technology, they were available for the investigation. And in fact, at one point, Sherrone says, I'll be glad when those are available. So somebody read them. Something else we learned from this report is how NCAA authorities were actually alerted that maybe something was going on. Apparently, they were tipped off from somebody inside the walls of Michigan. Michigan believes a leaker was used by the NCAA to produce some of the accusations made by the NCAA in the notice of allegations. Interesting. I hadn't heard that before. So that's new. In the end, Harbaugh, Stalions, former QB and staffer Denard Robinson, former linebacker coach Chris Partridge, they were all accused of serious level 1 infractions in the notice of allegations. Meanwhile, ex-defensive coordinator Jesse Minter and defensive coach Steve Clinkscale were also tapped for recruiting violations not related to the Stalions Spygate situation. But after all that, the notice allegation said that there was no evidence that Jim Harbaugh himself knew about the sign stealing. He was accused of not cooperating with the NCAA. That's not new. and that he did not allow them to look through his phone records and messages. Harbaugh has always maintained that he did nothing wrong, that he never knew anything about a Spygate scandal, nor did he ever instruct anybody to break NCAA rules. He has always said that. Connor Stalions has also corroborated Harbaugh's story. So Harbaugh doesn't know. First of all, Stalions says, I didn't do anything wrong, and Harbaugh doesn't know what I was doing. He never ordered me to do anything illegal. That's what he always said. So now that the NCAA and Michigan have gone back and forth, the ball is back in the NCAA's court for some sort of decision. And that's after they formally review Michigan's response, which came out this week. Now, you know, and I know the NCAA is historically slow, but I have to believe there'll be some sort of final resolution before the start of the upcoming football season here in 2025. But even if that's the case, Michigan lawyers will be on speed dial, and they'll fight all these and fight any penalties. And this is probably going to go on for a while. That's my opinion. I think it'll probably go on for a while. So stay tuned. We'll have all the latest right here on Locked On Big Ten. By the way, on a slightly related note, Illinois coach Brett Bielema taking shots at Jim Harbaugh on social media. Bielema answered a quote of Harbaugh's that said, hey, if you cheat to win, then you've already lost, quote unquote. It's an old Jim Harbaugh quote that somebody put on social media. Bielema answered. He responded on X. He says, really? Why did you leave? Was looking forward to playing, but understand you ran to the NFL. Wow. Brett Bielema getting in the mix. Very interesting. All right. Thursday night, tonight, we got some hoops I want to tell you about. Ohio State, Penn State, 6:30, men's basketball, 6:30 Eastern on FS1. 18th ranked Illinois at Nebraska. That's at 8:30 at FS1. And 16th ranked Oregon is at UCLA. That's at 10:30 Eastern. That means 7:30 Pacific on FS1. So a doubleheader on FS, actually a triple header of Big Ten basketball tonight on FS1. That's pretty cool. 4 games on the women's slate around the Big Ten. Oregon at 16th ranked Michigan State. That's at 6 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. 3 o'clock back west. If you're in Oregon and you want to watch that one, that's on the Big Ten Network. Nebraska is at Purdue, 7 p.m. Eastern, Big Ten Plus. Illinois at Rutgers, 7 p.m. Big Ten Plus. And Minnesota at 4th ranked USC at 10 p.m. Eastern on Peacock, 7 o'clock Pacific. So check out men's and women's hoops. Pretty good slate on a Thursday night. On Thursdays, we always like to look ahead to the weekend to the Big Ten Network, see what's going on with Big Ten Classics, Big Ten Live action. We will have that for you next right here on Locked On Big Ten.